Roy Rogers, one of the cowboy giants, married, of course, to Dale Evans. We'll never forget his horse, Trigger, how talented that horse was. But Roy was a very gentle, generous man when you sat down and just talked to him. But the greatest cowboy.
How long has he been gone?
Since 1965.
How in the world did you ever teach him, or were you the one who taught him to do all those
All
amazing
these earlier things, but then later on when I got busy, why I had a trainer who was with me for many, many years, Glenn Randall.
What's the most amazing thing Trigger did? Sign his name?
Yeah, we took him in hotel lobbies and put a pencil in his mouth, and he'd make a little X there, you know.
Yeah.
And it worked out real good for publicity. It always hit the front page.
Yeah.
And we go into Madison Square Garden, places like that, why you needed that kind of publicity. And he'd just do about anything if you spent enough, a little time with him. He'd lay down, sit up, shake hands, count, add, subtract, multiply, you name it. He could do it, smile. And
Was he an exception? Are horses smart or no?
They're not that smart, no, but they're individual. They're like people, There's some of us are dumb and some of us aren't.
Yeah.
Horses are basically the same. They actually have two sets of brains, which people don't realize. You can train a horse, and the old saying, you never mount a horse from the right side, because you're always saddling from the left side,
right.
and you always get on and off at the left side.
So that's where the action is.
Yeah, that's where the action is, and you walk on the other side of a horse that you haven't been over there. It's strange to him.
Yeah.
And I could, all the tricks Trigger could do, you work on the left side all the time. And I could walk around on the right side and give him the same cues, and he'd stand there like an idiot, But everything, if you balance them when you're training them, that's the reason they turn out so good.
What's your favorite breed of horses over the years, Roy?
Well, Palomino, of course, isn't a breed, it's a color.
Color, right.
But I don't know, Trigger was half thoroughbred, and his dam was a cold-blooded Palomino. And the first picture he worked in, he was 3 years old. And
He'd been in movies, before you had him.
Yeah, he did a picture with
Olivia de Havilland.
Olivia de Havilland in Robin Hood, I believe it was. And I saw him at that time. And when I got ready to make my first picture, all the stables brought their cast horses out to the studio, and I had to get on different ones. And I think Trigger's about the third or fourth one I got on. I never looked anymore.
That was it.
And that was it.
And they sold him to you.
Yeah, they sold him a little later on. They sold him to me.
Do you recall those first couple of movies with Gene Autry?
Yeah. I was with the Sons of the Pioneers. That was how I got into show business, organizing the Sons of the Pioneers. And we were on radio, and we'd made a bunch of transcriptions, and they were playing all over the country. And so we started getting requests to do musical backgrounds for pictures, and Gene's was one of them. The Old Corral, and then we went to Dallas. We were down doing the World's Fair in Dallas, the Centennial, 1936.
Yeah. Were you paid well in those early days, Roy, compared to today when you see those $8 million
I hear these
budgets?
arguments about people quitting a TV show because they're only making $30,000 an episode.
Yeah.
I want to vomit, I started starring in my pictures at Republic in 1938 at $75 a week. And I was tickled. That's more money than I ever made before in my life.
Of course, that was $30,000 in the old days, wasn't it?
Well, I was there 14 years, and I think I was making about $300 by the time I was there 5 years. I got #1 in box office, and I finally got to making a few bucks on the side with commercial tie-ups and personal appearances.
Over 100 movies and over 100 television shows.
Yeah, we did 90 movies and 102 or 3 television series, and then we did a lot of specials.
Were they done quickly, in comparison to today's shooting schedules?
I had pretty good budgets. I was lucky. We had one picture, one time we went to Las Vegas, and we ran the bad weather, and we ran into Christmas time.
Yeah.
And it was the poorest Christmas the crew ever had, because some of them had hit the tables up there, and we had to come home because of the weather. We didn't get the picture finished. We came home for Christmas, and it was a very poor Christmas. They went back and finished the picture after Christmas.
Right.
But we made it in Red Rock Canyon, and it took about 4 weeks, which is about about 3 times as long as it normally took to make a picture. And by running into the bad weather, and they're still wading in blood in the front office.
Was there great camaraderie between all of you in those days, or was it very competitive?
Well, it was. We were all competitors, but actually, we used mostly the same crew. I mean, when Gene was making a picture, I'd be on the road. People think you're really buddies and close friends and everything, but we never had a chance.
Right.
And then when I would come in and take over the same crew and make a picture, Gene would go on the road. So it was that way down through the years with most of the Cowboys.
I wonder, Roy, having made so many films and so often they're on television, do you ever tune in at home and say, I don't even remember that one?
Yeah, I have a friend of mine, Snuff. In fact, he makes he's got cassettes of a lot of my pictures, so he sent them to me, and I run them, and I've actually forgotten some of the scenes we did in them. But
do you remember anything about spoilers of the planes? The bad guys...
That's a number in my mind. I can't...
The bad guys steal an experimental rocket.
Oh, yeah. That was one of those period pictures.
Do you recognize a new breed of cowboys? And if you do you approve of them?
Well, there's none around anymore, you know. I outlived most of the others, but
right.
The new group, right now there isn't any television shows on right now, Cowboys.
Occasionally a Western in the movies, but usually it's an actor who is known for something else.
Well, they got to take a rest. At one time there were about 65 different series on the air, you know, a few years ago, and you can get too much ice cream, I don't care what it is, and people want to change.
Was there a moral to every movie you made?
Yeah, the old moral story is the good always won out over wrong, right? Always won out over wrong, and of course the good guy wore the white hat and the baddies wore the black hats, and that was a battle for many years, and all the big pictures of taking charge of the guy in the black hat and putting him in jail, giving him a good licking, and sending him away.
Right.
Yeah.
It still holds true today with you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right. You've held to that philosophy.
Yes, I think there's a good side and a bad side, and I hope I'm always on the good side.
Well, one of these horses is telling us that it's time to leave, and we got to roll along here. Thank you,
Okay.
Roy Rogers.
Thank you very much,
Great
Mark.
to visit with you.